fall again. Lumpy lumpo. Right. So, the thing I want to say this week about self-acceptance and self-help things is the following. I want to give you guys a tip on how to deal with feelings and sadness and that kind of stuff, how to deal with that phenomena. And this is directly borrowed from Eckhart Tolle, but helps me a lot. And I'm not always able to apply it, but when I am, I find I'm experiencing a major shift in my emotional well-being, or my emotional state rather. And basically it's as follows. So the trick is, when you're feeling a feeling that you don't want, like sadness, anger, maybe self-judgment is usually my one, or sadness around rejection, things like that. So any kind of negative or unwanted feeling. When you're experiencing that feeling, what I ask you to do is to, what tends to happen when we have these feelings, or what tends to happen for me, I better say rather, I don't know what happens for you guys, but what happens for me is when I feel sad or angry, or angry with someone, or depressed, anything like that, I tend to resist this feeling. So number one, I'm feeling the feeling, and number two, I'm saying to myself, I shouldn't feel this way, or not I shouldn't, but I don't want to. I don't want to feel this way. I need to find a way to sort this out. I need to find a way to have this horrible feeling leave me, which is a very natural response to it. I'm assuming most people have that. That's just the natural state of being. So when you're in pain, it's only natural to resist it. But in doing so, you add an additional layer of pain to your suffering. And this is also quite Buddhist-y and non-duality and that sort of stuff. But what I've found, and this is really literally very practical, so I'm trying to be as non-vague as possible here. So what I do is, if I'm feeling sad, instead of telling myself, so what I do is I feel it, I feel the sadness, really feel it here, usually with me it's in my stomach area, and then I say to myself, instead of saying I don't want to feel sad, stop feeling sad, what am I going to do about this sadness, how am I going to sort out this sadness, stop being sad, don't blah 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 blah. Instead of doing that, I say, okay, I'm feeling the sadness, I'm saying, okay, you're feeling sad, that's fine, go ahead, feel sad. And then I really feel the sadness, okay? So I really get in touch with that particular sad feeling. And I really feel it, and I really almost cherish it. So I just get in touch with that feeling, which is really unlike me. Usually I go, oh, I don't want to, I have the feeling of sadness, and I tell myself I don't want to feel it, which is hilarious. You say, no, don't feel it, but you're feeling it. So there's absolutely no point resisting anyway. But the resistance adds to your suffering, but you don't realize it. So basically, so number one is acceptance of the sadness or the anger or the whatever you're feeling. So you just say to you, number one is really, number one is acceptance. Number two is really feeling it, and maybe that's then where acceptance comes, whatever number one is. Maybe, I can't decide what number one is. Anyway, feeling the feeling and accepting it maybe comes at the same time, I don't know. But really get in touch with the feeling, feel it deeply. I just ramble so much, I can't help it. Anyway. Really feel the feeling, and then, and this is directly Eckhart Tolle, you imagine spaciousness around that. And I realize that's a little bit abstract. What do you mean by spaciousness around a feeling? Well, Okay, wherever you think, he talks about looking at the spaciousness around a flower. So you look at what you consider doesn't exist or isn't there. So this, he also talks about the spaces in between the words, like now. Okay, so anyway, so you need to find, I don't know if you can find a way, just imagine space around the feeling of sadness or the feeling of anger, and really feel the feeling and feel the spaciousness around the feeling, and just let it be. Don't fight it. That's the thing. Don't fight it. And you know what? For me, seriously, I've done this now quite some time, and I'm not saying I can always do it, because when I'm too caught up in the moment and I can't focus on it, then then it doesn't work. But I've had moments where I felt really sad or really upset, and then I said to myself, okay, you're feeling upset. Just feel the upsetness, feel it, just let it be, let it sit there, get in touch with it, even cherish it, love that you're feeling it. And then imagine the spaciousness around this feeling, imagine there's room and space around this feeling, and you know what happens? The feeling goes away. Seriously. Try it. What you resist persists. What you accept transforms. The most important saying you will ever hear. But I don't want to come across as preachy, which I think I do now. Anyway, I'm not being preachy. I'm really just sharing what really works for me. And I want to do that more and more often. It's really amazing how when you don't resist and really actually welcome it and say to your sadness, I welcome you, thank you, or thank it, get in touch with it, stroke it. What happens with me sometimes is that I go, oh, it's a little bouncy feeling ball sitting there wanting attention. Like you give it attention and all this sort of stuff. And then empathy arises out of that. So I find through that, I find empathy and compassion for myself through getting in touch with these feelings. And so that's my tip, my self-help tip this week for you. I hope it helps. Try it. And I'd love to hear if you've tried it and if it works for you. I'd love to hear that. Do send me an email, because I love this kind of stuff working for people, because it's just, for me, beautiful. I love how this kind of stuff works. And so if it works for you, I'd love to hear it. That'd be great. Okay. Thank you. And don't forget, light in your eye is painful. Don't forget, there is magic everywhere. Just look. There is magic even in sadness, and magic even in anger, and magic in everything. Oh, this light is much too bright. Oh. You've seen enough of these funny faces that I pull, haven't you? Yes, you have. Alright, say bye to Jellycat. Bye, Jellycat! No, say bye, people. Bye, people! Meow. You see? You're so cute.